There, I can see more faces now. Some of you that are on the call tonight, I've known for a very long time. And some of you I haven't met yet. And so I'm really excited to be here with all of you. So welcome. We're going to get started. Welcome. And I just wanted to just offer my complete gratitude for all of you being here, because I know that all of you have a choice as to where you're going to spend your time and your energy. And I really appreciate the fact that you're spending this time here with us. And I'm very grateful for that. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Fee Mazanke. Cecilia is my real name. Fee is a nickname. And I've been a executive leadership coach for over 25 years. And I am really passionate about being able to share coaching tools with all of you so that you can get results. One of my favorite things to do is to watch people get results. And this tonight for me is a celebration. It's a celebration of a book that I just got published. And I'm happy to say I co-authored a book. It's called Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 13. And for those of you who don't know, it's a compilation from entrepreneurs around the globe, and it's something that was a real passion project for me to share some examples and insights and information to get the word out. My mission now is to really be able to get the word out about how people can create the results that they want, can have a more free, better lifestyle. They can feel more abundant, more love in their lives. And part of that information is in the book that I shared. It's only one chapter. But a few years back, I wrote out my vision. I review my vision every single year, several times throughout the year, and I up-level my vision. And we're going to talk about your vision in a little bit. But what I did was I put on there that I am a 2-time international best-selling author. So this tonight is a celebration for me, and the reason why I wanted to bring all of you together is to share some of the insights and information about how you too can create a vision for yourself and drive your results of your vision, no matter what it is. It could be in your business, it could be in your relationships, it could be in your finances. It's all about living an abundantly rich life. And that is the celebration. I really sat with it and said, hey, I want to offer some of these tools and principles to as many people who are willing to to join us tonight and to purchase the book. And if they want to purchase the book. So if you have interest in purchasing the book, you can do that. It's really simple. All you have to do is in the chat, you can just type the word interested, but you also have to in the chat, because on our forms, for whatever reason, I don't really know, but for whatever reason, the addresses that you provided were not complete. And so I need your complete address. So if you can just make sure that we have your complete address, and the book is $25. Also at the end, for anyone that may be interested, I'm going to offer a jumpstart to coaching. It's a new package, very unique package. It's only going to be available tonight. If you're interested, if you want to stick around. If you're not interested, no problem. I will be chatting about that after we finish our workshop tonight. So I also have a few people, if you guys can pop on your screen and raise your hands too. I have a few people that I want to introduce because I think you guys are all on now. and that is Mindy Freeman, Kaylee Freeman. They have the same last name, yes. Mindy Freeman, Kaylee Freeman. I'm seeing Freedom Golf Retreat. And yeah. And is Austin with you too, Kaylee? Austin Freeman. There's 3 Freemans. They like freedom and being free. That's their thing. And Miles, I don't know if Miles has hopped on yet, but Miles Mitchell. These 4 individuals, I wanted to let you know, have gone through a coaching certification program with me. And I'm grateful for each and every one of them, because we've spent quite a bit of time together over the last 7 months. And Austin and Miles and I have been coaching together for the last couple of years. But it's been a true fun-filled adventure with all of us. And we do have a blast. Every single Wednesday morning we meet, and we do have a blast. So I'll be sharing some more insights about them and how they're going to be involved in this too. But I wanted to just introduce them and welcome them because they are part of the team here and part of the reason why we're all joining here. So that is our team of expertly trained coaches. So let's get started. Let's dive right in. What you need to understand about getting results and getting abundant results is that the universe doesn't speak English, it speaks frequency. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by frequency? Well, frequency is how you feel inside. It's what you're experiencing based on a feeling, a physical feeling sensation in your body. And so it's really important to start to develop an awareness of what you're feeling physically inside your body. Most people and most of the world, including myself, they live in their heads. Most people live in their heads. What we want to start to do is, because our minds, or our heads, our minds, our thoughts are not always going to tell you the truth. But your body, your physical sensation will always tell you the truth. And it can be broken down very simply. It's either a thought is going to cause a frequency that is either expansive and makes you feel and come alive, or it's going to be restrictive and it's going to make you feel like I am not, this feels very tight or tense for me. Okay. So what you want to understand and get to know as simple as you can is that when you think a thought, there will be a physical sensation inside your body when you think a thought. And you got to take that take it really seriously and be the gatekeeper of what's going on here, what's going on between the ears here. Because when you're the gatekeeper of what's here, you can then learn how to be in a much higher frequency. Okay. So that's what and I do also want to let you know, if you have questions tonight, you can raise your hand in the chat, and Jane or Claire will let me know. Okay, you guys can let me know if somebody raises their hands, because I won't really see all of that, right, Laura? You're the technical wizard, and I am not quite the technical wizard, so I need help in that department. Good to see you, by the way, Laura. Yay! Anyway, that's what I want to mention about frequencies. Okay, so our next slide is all about cracking the rich code. And cracking the rich code equals abundance. As I mentioned, while some of you were joining the call tonight, as I mentioned, it is about financial abundance, but it's also about health and well-being, abundance in health and well-being, relationship abundance, and fulfillment in your work. You guys, I have seen amazing results when I when I have the great privilege and honor of working and coaching with people over these last 25 years plus, I've been able to witness people create amazing results and amazing lifestyles. I've seen people up-level their jobs, where one person that I'm working with currently is making over $4 million a year. I've seen people job transition really successfully into roles that they absolutely love. I've also seen people become millionaires, and also working with one current person that is looking to create the billionaire title past his name. And just amazing things happen. The reason why this happens with people when we go through the coaching tools is they get a chance to apply those tools. And when they apply the coaching tools, they are fully empowered to create the lifestyle that they want. And so what we're going to focus on tonight is any one of four of these things, but I want to be crystal clear with all of you that you can create a vision with each one of these things in mind, and you can create absolutely everything that you love in the terms of, in the four quadrants, in your financial abundance, your health and well-being abundance, your relationship abundance, and fulfillment in your work. Okay. So those are the areas that we're going to focus on. And if you have one particular area that you want to be really hyper focused on, by all means, my encouragement to you is, let's say you have the health and well-being as your focus. My encouragement to you is to really be in the frequency of your perfect, vibrant, dynamic health. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But this is all about how to create through the frequency that you are putting out there. Okay? All right. Next, we're going to do the frequency of abundance. And I want you to, this is a little science experiment that I want you to all take. When you think about money, just think about money. Just close your eyes for a moment, take a breath, and think about money. And I want you to just experience what you experience physically when you think about money. When you think about it, I want you to just notice what you're noticing when you're thinking about money. Okay. Your first practice tonight is going to be about what it is that you feel physically when you think about money. And notice that. Are there any, remember, restrictions, or is it very expansive? When you bring the thought of money, you want to introduce what thoughts are really expansive. And I do see that somebody raised their hand. Yes. Rochelle, did you raise your hand? Yep. Okay. What's your question? You can come on.
Sorry, I didn't have a question.
Oh, you didn't have a question. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. All right. While we have you here, Rochelle, did you notice anything about when you bring the thought of money? Did you notice anything inside your body physically?
No. Just
no real physical sensations?
No, just eager and hopeful and excited.
Great. I'm excited that you joined us, and thank you for joining us. Okay, so first practice here is when you think about your financial situation, what it is that you're feeling inside of your body. And I want you to notice that over and over and over again. Get to the experience of when you're thinking a thought, it's going to elicit a feeling inside your body. Is there a feeling of trepidation? Is there feeling of fear? Is there feeling that I don't have enough? Is there a feeling that I'm longing for something more? Do you worry about money or fear of loss of money from your past? These are questions not for you to answer out loud, but I want you to just notice and take a little assessment. We're going to take a little assessment right now. And again, this is on your notebook. I want to ask you to assess yourself. This is, again, you and you. Nobody else is going to take a look at this for you. In the area of financial abundance, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate yourself? 1 being lowest, 5 being highest. 1 being I don't have enough at all, and 5 being I have everything that I possibly can need and want financially. Just go ahead and write that and rate yourself. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being lowest, 5 being highest, how would you rate your health and well-being? Would you say that you are working towards becoming healthier? Would you say that I'm really in need of up-leveling my health extremely to an extreme right now? Or would you say I'm in the best shape of my life? I feel physically fit. That would be a 5. Okay. In the area of relationships, 1 being I'm not really in a relationship. I'm longing for a relationship with someone who really loves me and adores me. And 5 being I'm in the relationship and I found the love of my life and I'm thrilled. And anywhere in between, rate your relationships. Again, you're the only one that's going to see these ratings. And then in the area of your fulfillment in work, the work that you contribute to the world, whether it be volunteer work or actual work that you're doing that you get paid for, on a scale of 1 to 5, where would you rate yourself? And the 1 would be, I really am not enjoying the work that I'm doing, but I know in my heart that there's something much greater for me to do. And 5 being, I love everything about what I do, and I wake up eager to work every single day that I work. Okay? And the reason why I am having you take this assessment now is because I want you to have greater awareness of where you are in the world of your work and or in your relationships, in your health, and your financial situation. And I want you to know that you have a great opportunity starting tonight to really make the shifts and changes that you can do. So that's what we're going to continue to talk about. And that's what we're going to continue to focus on in our time together tonight. Okay, I want to next talk about the cause of your results. So remember how I was talking about frequency, and I said if you're on a low frequency, you're going to get low level results. And your thoughts are the starting point of where your frequency is and exists. Your thoughts are always primary. Your thoughts are going to elicit a feeling sensation in your body. And then you're going to take action steps with the results, either the action steps, or sometimes people have inaction and are paralyzed by fear. And those are going to equal your results. So it's important for you to understand to change the results in any category. Remember, your financial category, your health category, your relationship category, and your work category. To change in any of those categories, you have to increase the frequency that you're coming from or omitting. You've got to increase the frequency. So you may say, hey, Fee, well, how do I do that? How is it that I am able to change these obsessive thoughts and have these feelings of panic. I understand that. I totally understand. And I have people that come into my practice over and over and over again with that same situation or with that same questioning, maybe at different levels. It may be, people that are experiencing stress and difficulty with one or more of the categories or all of the categories, but we chip away at it. And we really focus on making sure that you deepen your level of awareness of what am I thinking about? What does does it make me feel expansive, or does that thought make me feel restrictive? And what action steps are in service to what it is that I would like? So think of it this way. As you have your thoughts and your feelings and you take your actions and your results, you're either getting results that are aligned with what it is that you would absolutely love in your life, or you're getting thoughts and feelings and you've got thoughts, feelings, actions, and results, and those results are low-level results, or you're continuing the pattern of the results that you're getting. Okay, so can you think in your mind, can you think about something that you're currently struggling with? Jot it down. Just jot it down on your notebook. Just think about something that you currently struggle with. Now, I want you to just reflect upon this. What are the predominant thoughts that I offer about this struggle, this difficulty in my life? What are the predominant things that come up? What am I telling myself about this situation? What am I telling myself about this situation? What are those thoughts make me feel physically? What's the physical sensation? Again, it might be something like a tightening in your chest. It might be a sinking feeling in your stomach. It might be, I had one client who this was many years ago, where she was really struggling in her business, and we got to the core root of what was causing her struggle in her business, and it was unexpressed grief from the loss of her dad. And she had this paralysis in her forearm. It was very fascinating. She's like, I have this like paralysis in my forearm, Fee. It just came up. She didn't know what it was for. And then I took her through a process that we're going to talk about a little bit later on. I took her through this process, and sure enough, the paralysis was all of a sudden this grief that she really she did not express. She was in her mid-30s, a sales leader, and she had this paralysis in her business, and it all stemmed back from this unexpressed grief. She lost her dad when she was 15 and never really got any tools of how to overcome that grief. And so once we were able to help and support her do that, the body told us where the blockage was. And it was a very unconscious block. But as a result of her going through the process with us through coaching, she was able to shift out of that and forgive that unhealed grief. And then her business took off like in the very next week. It was an amazing transformation of just like what I call pulling the weed out from the root. We transformed the situation with her. She pulled the weed out from the root, and all of a sudden her business in 1 week's time just started to take off. Now, the interesting thing about her is that she does coaching through a different company, not through me, but through a different company. So she's a successful coach as a result of her going through that process. But I want everybody to know that the way to really look at what it is that you're doing, you want to look at your end game. I would love this in my end game. Maybe it's, to save $30,000 by the end of this year, as an example. $30,000 of emergency fund money in my bank account. That's just an example. And so you want to pay attention to what your thoughts and your feelings and your actions are in doing that. Okay. And if you want $30,000 by the end of this year, you're going to need to have thoughts, feelings, and actions that are aligned with that and in service to that. Okay. So that is what I want to mention to you about how it is to get results. So whatever result you want, I want you to write that result out. Like, it could be a financial result. I know we've got somebody that plays football on here, and it could be that, whatever your football result is, it could be your health result. It could be your a successful job transition result. Whatever that is, I want you to start to write out what you would love. So when we do coaching to get results and to build our abundance in our life, we want to ask the question, what would I love? And it's not what is my goal, it's what would I love? And the reason why we ask the question, what would I love, is what do you guys suppose is the highest frequency out there? What do you think is the highest frequency? Yes, Laura, thank you. Yeah, she goes like that. Yeah, it's love. Absolutely. And the opposite of love is fear. And most people that are experiencing stress or difficulty or are stuck in their lives are stuck in fear. So tonight, what I want you all to walk away with is your ability of what you can do to move yourself out of fear and move yourself into what it is that you would love. So your focus, remember, your main role is to, in the first practice, is to notice what you're noticing. And I want you to notice when you have that panic feeling or that stressful feeling in your body, that when you feel that way, just notice it and notice what you're noticing, and then feel the sensation in your body. And then from there, we're going to talk about how to stop that feeling, how to pause yourself, what I call taking the leadership pause. We're going to talk about how to take a leadership pause and be able to start to breathe and take care of the stress that you're feeling in your body. So what I want you to do is I want you to all take just a couple minutes here and just ask yourself what I would love. Can you go back, Jane? What I would love financially, in my health and well-being, in my relationships, and my work. I want you to just jot like 1 or 2 sentences in each of these categories. Okay. What would you love financially? What would you love in your health and well-being? What would you love in your relationships? And what would you love in your work? Just jot those all down. I promise, I told everybody or the people that were on earlier that I would not sing. My college roommate has joined and she knows how bad of a singer I am. So she's there laughing about it. Just a couple sentences. What would you love financially, health and well-being, relationships, work? And now, as you look at this, is there one specific area that really stands out to you that you would love to focus on? Is it the finances? And of course, that's what we're talking about, but this is an abundant, a full spectrum of an abundant lifestyle. So we're not just going to do this just in finances, because we want people to also have abundance in health, relationships, and work. So we want you to experience full spectrum wealth in all areas. Okay. So if you have one specific area, I want you to just circle that for yourself. If there's one specific area, just circle it. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to understand when you start to notice what you're noticing, and when you start to notice yourself feeling stress. When you start to notice yourself feeling stress, this is what you want to do. Flip the slide, please, Jane. You want to stop right in the midst of the stress, and you want to begin breathing. And you breathe by doing what I call abundance activation breath work. Abundance activation breath work is really simple. You inhale through your nose for 4, you hold your breath for 4, and you exhale gently like you're blowing out a straw for 4, thinking of things that you're grateful for and things that you're proud of. Okay? And why we do this, you guys, is because gratitude is in direct alignment with abundance. So there is a frequency of thinking that happens when you're under stress. There's a frequency of thinking. The thinking is going to be fear-based thinking when you're feeling stress. So what you really want to do is you want to stop that fear in the moment that it's happening. You pause and you breathe and you begin to focus your attention on things that you're grateful for and things that you're proud of. And the reason why you focus on what you're proud of is because the proud part of it allows you to understand that there's actionable places. It's the human experience of being able to take action. So what am I grateful for and what am I proud of? And if you, I had a client that I've been working with for the past 1.5 years. When I first started working with him and I first introduced this concept to him, he could not think of anything that he was proud of. That's a true story. And now the beautiful thing about it now, 1.5 years later, is that he can think of many things that he's proud of and he spurts it out. But when he first started, he literally could not think of anything that he was proud of. So what was interesting about this is that I said, okay, think of what you would love. Like think of something or somebody that you love, something or somebody. We just had to start where he was. We had to start in the place that he was. I wasn't going to force him, to be thinking of something that he was proud of and he really couldn't do it. And then our work began on letting go of some past experiences and past things that he really was feeling stifled in and stuck in, and that he was holding some very critical feelings in. And so that was a really important shift for him. And now I'm happy to tell you 1.5 years later, he is able to very, very, very easily, he's able to think of things that he's proud of. And I always remind him of that as the progress in the gauge of where he came from. So the last thing that you want to do when that stress level starts to rise within you is to use your imagination and imagine yourself in the end game of what it is that you would love. So you want to imagine yourself, if you're wanting that $30,000 in your bank account by the end of this year, you want to see the bank account, you want to see the statement either on the computer or on a piece of paper. You want to see $30,000. You want to go, wow, look at this. It's $30,000. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I have this $30,000. So you imagine the end game as if you already have it. In your health category, you imagine yourself as if you are already experiencing vibrant, dynamic health. In your relationship game, you already imagine what it would be like to live with the person of your dreams. You're living and experiencing someone in that category that is treating you really well, that's loving you like a king or a queen, and treating you with the love and care and respect that you want. And that use of your imagination then allows you to feel the expansiveness in your body. So the physical sensation allows you to feel expansive. Why is that important? Because our nervous system is the transmitter of the signal about what we would love to create. And so either we're transmitting from love and a high frequency, or we're transmitting from fear, a very low frequency. Remember the graph that Jane put up? It's either you're transmitting high or you're transmitting low. So your frequency that you want to transmit is very high. And so you want to connect to those very, very high thoughts, which elicit a high feeling. So what I want to do right now is I want everybody to try this out and experience the abundance activation breath work so you can understand how you feel when you get a chance to do it. Okay. So again, I want everybody to sit back and relax. And I want you to just feel what you're feeling in the moment. If you put your feet on the ground, just notice your feet in the moment. Just feel what you're feeling, okay? If there's any stress that you feel in this moment, I want you to just feel it. Just feel it. Allow yourself to feel where you are currently, right here, right now. Feel it, okay? Now, let's inhale, thinking of things that you're grateful for and things that you're proud of. You're going to inhale for 4. You're going to hold your breath for 4, and you're going to exhale gently like you're blowing out a straw for 4. Thinking of things that you're grateful for, things that you're proud of, just all things that you're grateful for and things that you're proud of. So ready? We're going to do it as a group. Let's inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just imagine yourself in your vision of what you would love in just one category, either financially, health-wise, relationship-wise, or your work fulfillment. Just imagine that. Take a moment to feel what it feels like when you actually already have this experience. Okay? Okay, I want to get a couple of shares here, and just tell me what it is that you noticed and what it is that you felt when you brought what you would love, your end game of your vision, into your reality, current reality. Anyone wanted to share? Who would like to share, actually? Julie. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you.
Smile. When I met my end game, I had a sense of accomplishment. I felt happiness. I felt a huge relief. I felt good. I felt really good.
Yeah. Yeah. And in your body, where did you notice it most?
In my breath, breathing easily, taking deep breaths. I didn't have the, tense, nothing like that.
Yeah. If you notice, you guys, thank you, Julie, for sharing. If you notice, when you're in fear, you always hold your breath. When you get hurt or injured, or when you're in fear, you always hold your breath. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to bring breath, which is life, to yourself. And yeah, Julie, that is a great indication for you of your end game really making you feel very expansive inside your body. And so when you begin to focus your attention and put all of your thoughts on the end game rather than the lack of the end game, which is what most of society does. Most of society says, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. And so it actually is the cause of the results that we're seeing. Because we have to connect to a higher frequency, which is the infinite, or it's connecting to God. That's what we're doing when we are moving ourselves from a fear-based reality into love. We're moving from fear into love. So we're looking to move our frequency. And we do that very simply by stopping when we're in the midst of a very restrictive feeling in our body. Pause, breathe, think of things that you're grateful for and things that you're proud of, and then imagine what it is like to already have that experience. The real key here, you guys, in using your vision, because I've worked with people and people that have been in the personal growth and development space. I had a client that I worked with for about 3 years. And he was like, well, Fee, I've been rehearsing my vision for the last 20 years, but he wasn't getting the results that he wanted. And I go, well, how does your vision feel in your body? How does what you would love, what your end game is, how does that feel inside your body? And he goes, oh, I never did that. So he never did it. Now, Amy, I know you're on here and I don't want to put you on the spot, but you've done this practice before. Would you mind sharing how specific you got? You don't have to tell us where you were or anything, but just tell us how specific you got in creating the results that you wanted.
Just accomplishment and getting to where, just knowing what you want and knowing that you can get there. Just being positive.
Yeah, but beyond being positive, what were the details that you were able to input into what it is that you would love? When you imagined, how detailed was it?
Oh, yes, very specific, down to, the communication that you were having, and your, daily, what you want to see every day, and how you want to bring these certain things into your life. I mean, I brought them very, very detailed with that.
So and thanks, Amy. What's really important is we use the law of specificity. And the law of specificity is getting the really specific parts of your vision and what it is that you would love to experience in your vision to be able to be detailed. And so, Amy, can I also ask you, how long did it take you to create what it was that you were creating?
I mean, every week I got closer and close. I mean, I just accomplished things weekly, and then I came on to a new one and I accomplished that one.
Yeah.
And I think over a 6-week period, I was able to come into full circle of everything that I loved and wanted in my life.
Yeah. And the key here was, thank you for sharing, Amy. The key here was the details and the specificity of being exact. And when you first started practicing these tools and using these tools, how much stress were you under?
Oh yeah, I was almost to the point of depression. It was sad. I mean, I knew I wasn't depressed, but it was just sad because I was very negative and only lived in fear. Only.
Yeah.
That was it. It was very sad.
And what would you say, Amy, if I can just ask you one more question, what would you say was the greatest thing that the greatest transformation that happened for you in the short period of time that you did the work?
Forgiveness for the things in your past and when you pulled up the weeds, like you had mentioned before. It was very helpful in bringing more love into your life, and a forgiveness was huge.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
Out of all the people that I've ever worked with, I think you were one of the most detailed and specific people, Amy, that I ever saw. I've also had several moms. When 2020 hit, there was a big baby boom in 2021, and so a bunch of my executive female clients they got pregnant in 2020 and had babies in end of 2020 or into 2021, and a lot of them used the abundance activation breath work to be able to help and support them through childbirth. And in fact, one of my clients I actually mentioned her in the book. She was so good at doing it. She called me just a couple of weeks after she had her first daughter, and she was like, yeah, I didn't have pain in childbirth because she was so focused. She had a vision of what that end game was like, and she definitely had some fears that she needed to release along the way. So she released those fears. We did some emotional process work, which I'll talk about here in a few minutes. But she had her end game, and it was a very focused end game of just having a really beautiful experience as a mom, birthing her first child, her first daughter. And she did that, and the nurses commented on, they said, we've never seen anybody so calm in the labor and delivery room, but she did it because she was so focused on her breathing and keeping herself at that higher frequency. It was a really fascinating experience. Then she had her second daughter actually during 2020. She had her second daughter in May of 2020. And so that was the COVID time. And so that was really a scary time for her because it was when only one person could be in the delivery room. And again, we pulled out the weeds of what it was, the fears that she was feeling, focused all of her attention on everything that she would love during childbirth. And then she was able to do the exact same thing with her second daughter as well. So it was really fascinating. Okay, we talked about the imagination. I thought this is really one of my favorite quotes here. Jane, if you can bring that up. The power of your imagination. Walt Disney said that the best nation in the world is your imagination. And that's true, isn't it? Because he also says that everything just started with a mouse. Now, I just had a weekend encounter with mice, and I can say that it wasn't Mickey-esque at all. It wasn't anything like Mickey at all. Anyway, what we want to do, and you want to kind of get a childlike nature of really using your imagination where you can, and just imagining yourself in the end game, being in the end game as if that's your reality. And we're going to take a page out of Amy's book and say, yes, we are, we are going to be as specific as possible here. And, instead of saying, hey, I want to take a trip to Italy, as an example, that was one of the things that I put on my vision a few years ago. And instead of just being in Italy, you want to like be on the mountainside and toasting with a glass of, Italian wine or champagne, or enjoying some of the riches of the foods and just enjoying those foods. You want to be able to do and imagine yourself eating a pasta meal, or taking the tour of the Vatican in Rome, anything like that, to really see yourself, picturing yourself there. We're going to take a page out of Walt Disney's book and use our imagination. Okay. The other thing that I want to mention about the power of your imagination is that everything is created twice. So the chair that you're sitting in, it was first a thought in somebody's mind, and then it became the actual chair. Somebody built the chair. But everything that we have and everything that we do is created twice. So when you can have a picture in your head of being on the mountainside with your beloved, we can tie in the relationship with your beloved, toasting, your success in your favorite restaurant in Italy, and eating, a pasta meal. Using that and actually feeling that brings a signal of expansiveness, as Julie had mentioned when she imagined her end game. It brings an expansiveness to your body. And when that expansiveness is resting in your nervous system, that is what is causing the signal to bring you things. And it appears oftentimes that these things that come are out of the blue. They appear to be out of the blue, but they're not really out of the blue. They're experiences, because everything that we do is an exchange of energy. So because our energy is high, we're bringing in and calling in things that are going to make us experience things that are what we would love. So that's how we create results. So if I use the $30,000 in the bank account, if you're imagining, hey, this is what I'm doing, it's December 31st, it's New Year's Eve, and I'm really looking back and reflecting on my year and saying, wow, it was a tough year, but look, by the end of the year, this is all that I did, and I did it. I have this in my bank account. I'm really excited, and I've got a nest egg to really start the new year coming. That's how you want to use your imagination and use the law of specificity. Okay. The vision is your blueprint in your mind of the dreams that you want. So think of your vision, what you would love, your end game, as the blueprint, or it's the architecture of your dream. Okay. And we're going to use that blueprint to imagine ourselves as if we're already there. We're coming as if we're coming from the vision being our reality. We're not seeking outside of ourselves as if that reality is outside of us and we're chasing after it. We're imagining ourselves as if it's here. That's the real important key to having the frequency of your vision being really rich. Okay. Jane, next one. When we use pictures, when we use our imagination and create pictures in our mind, the subconscious mind is the high-speed processor. So your conscious mind, it will experience about 40 bits of information per second. But your subconscious mind processes 40 million bits of information per second. So think of it as a high-speed processor, your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind only thinks in pictures. It cannot discern what's real or imagined. So when you guys are imagining your vision as if it's your reality, you are putting it out there, and the subconscious mind goes to work. Atoms and molecules and all the energy kind of starts to line up for you, and things that appear to be out of the blue happen. You know, there are things that my good friend Chris is here on here, and she has manifested things completely out of the blue without even really working at it at all. She's constantly being in faith and trust and living and trusting in God, saying, yes, this is my reality. And I watch her do it because we walk often, and I watch her do it over and over and over again. And I see her do it, and I see how good she is at being able to manifest it and being able to create the things that she loves. So imagine, create your vision, hold that vision as your reality, and hold it in your subconscious mind until your body feels expansive. So you might have to do it a bunch of times, but you want your body to feel really expansive, okay? And then next, Jane, is our T-graph. I want you to know that you're not doing this alone. You actually have the entire higher level universe or God on your side, and the infinite possibilities is what we're connecting to. So if you look on the horizontal graph, we have birth, you with your heart, you're in the middle, and we have death. Most people remain on the horizontal graph, and they constantly think about their conditions, problems, and circumstances. That's where their thoughts and feelings, their conditions, problems, and circumstances, over and over and over and over and over again. But when we connect to our vision, our highest possibility, and the possibilities are infinite. I love watching the Olympics this time of year because you see things that like people never thought were possible before. You know, Simone Biles, you know, that she's doing things and flips and all these things. First, that has to happen in her mind first. So she is connecting to her vision in order to make that her reality. Michael Jordan was one of the best. He started visualizing when he was 8 years old. He thought everybody did it. And he, in his book, For the Love of the Game, he said that that he always imagined everything about himself, including being an NBA basketball player. But he was cut by his coach, his high school coach, his sophomore year. Despite the condition, circumstance, and problem that he was faced with, he still held the vision that he was going to be an NBA player. He did not allow that coach to create his reality for him. Rather, he stayed connected to his vision, and he would visualize before every single game. It's a really fascinating story about Michael Jordan and how he would imagine up against Reggie Miller, who was on the Indiana Pacers at the time, and he would imagine him kind of moving as he was on offense and Reggie was defending him. He would imagine, okay, I'm going to make my move this way so that I can, get around Reggie Miller's defense. And he said he imagined it first, and then all of a sudden he was able to create that as his reality. He was able to say, hey, in the game, it was exactly this way. I did this last year for something. I was using my imagination and using the infinite, connecting to the vision. And I had a vision, a dream that I had for quite a while. And it was really specific. It was my family sitting around together, eating s'mores, having music on, dancing down south at a house that we have down south. And I had that vision for a very long time. And last June, we got word exactly as that was happening. Exactly. It wasn't, I imagined more people to be there, but it was my family only. But it was exact. We were listening to music. There was a bonfire. They were eating s'mores. My family was eating s'mores, and we got word about it. It was exact. So that was a real confirmation for me to say, yeah, you can use this law of specificity and focus on the end game. Okay. Next, Jane. Oh, there we go. Now, what I want to mention to you is what I had alluded to earlier is what is called an emotional discovery process. And in this, what's called the emotional discovery process, as I mentioned, when we are in fear, there are lower frequencies or lower thoughts and feelings and experiences that happen. And oftentimes these are always roadblocks to what it is that you want. And often they are not conscious. We're not conscious of them. Sometimes these things happen, but your body, I mentioned this earlier, your body tells the truth. So when we move people beyond the fear that they're feeling and experiencing, it is like, as Amy mentioned, it is like pulling the weed from the root. And that makes more room for love. So this emotional discovery process is one that I've designed from all these years of, personal growth and development work that I've done, and having all the amazing clients that I've had over the years. I saw a pattern. I saw a common pattern that happened when people were experiencing roadblocks of fear, and what I could do to support them in moving through that. So either we're going to have a volunteer, or I'm going to take you through kind of more of a general process. So is there anybody that would like to step forward and volunteer so that we could experience this? And as one person does it, we can all do it and experience the emotional discovery process together. And if I don't have a volunteer, I'm just going to have you guys do a more generic one. I'll put it towards finances, since our focus is on abundance here. Any volunteers? Anybody want to be courageous and step forward? Mamie. All right. Thank you, Mamie. Love it. Can you unmute? You're going to have to unmute yourself. It is because I cannot unmute you right now. Yeah, it's not, you're not unmuting. Can you go on to the bottom of your screen where the microphone is? If you scroll to the bottom of your screen where your microphone is. And if you just press on the microphone, it should unmute you. If it doesn't work, I think what we'll do is we'll just do a generic one, okay? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for being courageous here, Mamie. I appreciate it a lot. Okay. So what we're going to focus on here is an emotional.
Okay, I found it.
You got it. You got it. You just did it. You figured it out. Yay.
Right. I'm used to a Zoom and where the icons are on a Zoom. So anyway, I found it.
I've heard that. I've heard that before, by the way. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me, what is a stressful thing for you right now?
Well, it's the thing I'm experiencing through this process is I'm getting the high and the low frequencies pretty much at the same time when I'm thinking about something. For instance, I'm thinking about, you know, I'm certainly at the age where I can retire. So I'm thinking about, you know, the money situation for when I retire. And at the same time, when I visualize it, you know, I'm having all these wonderful feelings and all the things that it brings with it. But at the same time, there's that anxiety that creeps in. It's like, well, what if it's gone? Or what if something happens? So I'm getting both of those frequencies at the same time when I'm thinking about something.
Got it. And so, so what is it that you would love as a result of retirement? What would you love?
Well, it would be the freedom to you know, I don't want to retire and then not have money to do something, the freedom to travel, the freedom to have a nice nest egg if I need it because I'm getting older and you know,
Sure.
I want to be prepared for any types of emergencies or anything like that. And but then and a big thing for me is just being able to be benevolent to other people
Sure.
and help other people. So there's a lot of benevolency included in that. That gives me a lot of spiritual peace because I think that's what, you know, as a Christian and a child of God, that we should do is to serve others, and that would give me a lot of money to share and serve.
Absolutely.
So those are the good feelings, um,
The
and
anxiety.
then I'm visualizing this money, and then all at once it's gone. You know, it's like
Got it.
that creeps in.
Yeah. So the money is gone. Let me just ask you one last thing. When you have freedom to travel, where would you travel to?
I'd love to visit friends and families. That's my number one.
Where?
Uh,
What would be the first place?
oh, well, I have friends and family in Mississippi and Alabama, New York.
So which
Uh,
one of those would be first?
um, I really would like to go see my grandchildren first.
Okay. And your grandchildren in Mississippi?
They're in Louisiana.
Louisiana. Yeah. Okay.
It's about a 9-hour drive from here. So,
Okay. So you would be with the grands in Louisiana. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
that would
So
be my first stop.
great. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a quick emotional discovery process, Mamie. And I want everybody who is experiencing any anxiety around money, I want you to do the same thing, but just just follow what I'm doing with Mamie and just notice what's coming up for you and notice how you feel. Even if you need to jot it down in your notebook, you can just jot it down in your notebook. Okay. So we're
Well,
going to
let me just say this. I do have a trip planned this week to go see them as far as that goes. So do I need to pick something else?
well, if so, in retirement is going to be when?
I don't know yet. I'm still working full time. I work 2 jobs.
Okay. So
And
the best way to make that decision, just so you know, Mamie, is to really feel it. Like, let's say retirement is a year from now. You
Okay.
say, okay, am I retired 1 year from now? And what does it feel like in your body? What does it feel like?
that's a good place to start because that is something I'm struggling with. I don't know when to retire, when I can retire. And I feel like I give up something if I retire because I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoy working, but at the same time, I mean, I want to retire too. So,
Sure. So you're kind of vacillating back and forth.
yes, I
It's
do
really-
that.
Yeah, it's really what it is that you would love. And you just imagine yourself a year from now, or maybe 2 years from now, and feel when it's most expansive. And you always put it out there. I certainly know your faith and belief. You always just put it out there and just say, God, give me the answer to that. You know, what is for my best and highest good. But what I want to do, because I want to be able to get through this with everybody, is I want to be able to take you through a quick removal of the roadblock financially for you.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll see what's at the core here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it's real simple. Just sit back and relax. I'm going to have you start to think of things that you're grateful for and things that you're proud of. It's a closed eye process. So just keep your eyes closed. Okay. And just relax. And I will count. All you have to do is inhale through your nose for 4, hold your breath for 4, and exhale gently like you're blowing out a straw. Okay. So let's inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep your eyes closed, Mamie. Bring all of your awareness to the physical sensation inside your body for the purpose of energetic coherence. State out loud one thing that you're grateful for and one thing that you're proud of.
I am grateful for so much protection I've received over the years from my Heavenly Father. And
Great.
and then I'm very proud of the things that I've accomplished and learned in business and in music and other things that I do, crafts, cooking, and all of those things. I've learned many things.
You are a master at many trades. I know you. I've known that for a long time. I've known you for a long time, and you are certainly a master of many. Great music abilities, great cooking. Yeah, great Southern cooking.
I
All right.
enjoy.
Yeah. So let me reflect this to you. I am grateful for the protection that I have received from our Lord, and I am proud of all of the accomplishments that I have made. Tell me what you notice you feel physically inside your body.
It is an expansion. It's
Okay.
it's like a little vibration,
A vibration. Where specifically?
more in the spine,
In the spine. Okay.
kind of like a goosebumpy thing.
Great. I want you to feel that goosebumpy thing, that expansion vibration in your spine. I want you to feel it. Now let all your cells in the space between your cells feel that goosebumpy, expansive vibration in your spine. And let all your cells and space feel that. Now extend that. Extend it in front of you and behind you, above you and below you, and on either side. And when you extend that, what do you notice?
I've noticed that it moves into my ears,
Okay. And what does it feel like in your ears?
warm.
Warm? Okay, great. Okay. So I want you to put this thought of retirement in your mind and having the question in your mind of when's the best opportunity for me to retire? Am I going to have enough money? Am I going to make the right decision as to when? And when I introduce the question in your mind of, am I going to have enough money to retire? Tell me what you notice physically in your body.
It's kind of like a little wall that comes up in front of me.
Okay. And where is the wall located in your body?
It's like in the abdomen area.
So you have a wall in your abdomen. Okay, great. You're doing great. And if there were an emotion associated with that wall in your abdomen, tell me what's the emotion that's associated there? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Protection.
Okay. So
Feeling safe.
So does the wall make you feel unsafe?
No,
The wall makes you feel safe
more secure. Mhm.
or secure. Okay. And so when you're feeling this wall in your abdomen, does that feel expansive or restrictive?
Restricted.
It does. So that feels secure, but it feels restrictive.
Yes.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to go into that part, that wall in your abdomen. I want you to stand in it, stand up right in it, where you feel like you're going to lose it all, or you're not going to have enough, that restriction there. Okay. I
You
want
want
you
me to
just
stand in the wall?
stand just in your mind's eye, of course, just stand right in the middle of the wall.
Okay.
And I want you to invite a mentor to be with you. The mentor is not someone of the earth plane, but someone whose wisdom you trust and whose safety you feel really safe with. Who's your mentor today? Could be a religious figure or
I
a
would
hero.
say the Holy Spirit.
Okay. Holy Spirit, great. Okay, great. So I want you to feel this wall in your abdomen that feels really restrictive. Okay. And when you're feeling that around a financial experience, what I want you to do is I want you to just keep your eyes closed. I'm not going to ask you a question. When you feel this wall, I've got to protect myself because something is there that makes me feel restricted. When you feel that, just feel it and allow yourself to look in your mind's eye, just look straight down at your feet when I ask this question. When have I felt this way before? When have I felt this way before? And in your mind's eye, just look straight down at your feet and tell me what you're feeling and how old you feel yourself to be and where you are. When have I felt this way before? This protection around my finances, where there was a lack. And what pictures are coming to mind? Anything coming up?
Yeah, there's I think yeah, it's back when I was like in my 30s. I had a traumatic event in my 30s.
Okay.
That's what's coming up.
So there's this trauma that happened when you were in your 30s, and you don't have to describe the trauma. There was something that made you believe that you needed to protect yourself and your financial status, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Was there a person that was associated with the trauma? Specific person, don't name the person.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. You're doing great. So what I want you to do, Mamie, is I want you to, if in that wall, I want you to invite that person that caused that trauma, not saying the person's name. You don't have to describe the experience, but I want you to invite him and build a campfire right in your abdomen in the wall. And I want you to just sit in the lap of your mentor to know that you are safe. And I want you to express whatever you never got a chance to express to the person that caused you this trauma. Express it. Let it all out. Just say, whoever this person is, say it direct, as if the person is right across the campfire with you. Can you say it out loud, please?
What I'm saying to this person?
Yeah, just speak it out
Yes.
loud. Just, yeah.
Okay. I can't believe that you would do this
Yeah,
to me and to others.
Yeah.
You've destroyed my trust.
Mm,
You've created this fear of the future
mm,
and survival.
yeah. And what do you notice about the fear of the future and the survival as it comes into your current reality with this retirement question?
Well, it's similar. You have the similar fear
Yeah,
of, yeah,
yeah,
it kind of mirrors each other.
yeah. It's exact, right? The feeling, I'm saying the feeling. That's what I
Yeah,
call an associated emotion. Yeah,
right.
great job. Did you ever think that this trauma that happened in your 30s would be associated with making the decision to retire now?
No.
No, not at all. Yeah. So here's what I want you to do. I want to ask you to bring your freedom back to you. This is about you, not about him. Even though you cannot excuse his behavior. I'm assuming it's a male, yeah? Even though you cannot excuse his behavior, for your own sake of feeling free from this trauma, would you be willing to utterly and completely forgive him from the bottom of your heart?
Yes, I have done that logically, and I mean, I have done that before.
So let's do it here and now. Let's do it here and now. And I'm going to give you a litmus test for it, okay?
Okay, okay.
So I want you to speak the words of forgiveness to him, knowing that the forgiveness is it's not about him and excusing him, but it's about you and freeing up your fear so that love can enter. So if you could speak the words of forgiveness out loud, please.
Yes, I forgive you for all of the pain and hurt that you caused and devastation in different areas,
Mhm.
and release you to a higher authority.
Beautiful.
It's not my place to judge.
Yeah, beautiful. I want you to take a breath and tell me what you notice about that wall in your abdomen now. Take a breath and just know.
It's softened.
Yeah. So anything else that you notice about it?
It just seems like I'm breathing easier.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, Mamie, when we imagine your retirement as a successful decision for you to be able to travel to Louisiana, be with your grandchildren, and then to go to friends' homes, and you have everything that is required of you. You have a nest egg. You have the ability to be charitable for any people that you want to be charitable for your own spiritual growth. When you imagine that, I want you to tell me what you notice you feel around that wall in your abdomen.
It's diminishing the more I think about that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So can you see the power of this is a visceral forgiveness versus an intellectual one?
Sure. Right. There's a difference.
Can you feel the difference?
Yeah, it's being aware of my feelings.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely,
I didn't have the awareness of it before, even though I did it. I didn't
yeah,
have this kind of awareness before.
yeah. The forgiveness, the feeling of forgiveness is a feeling in your body, not in your mind. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So now what I want you to do is just wake up every day and say, I'm so happy and grateful I've made the perfect decision, whenever it is, about retirement. I've got a nest egg. I'm traveling to see my grandchildren. I'm traveling to see my friends. And I've got everything that I need. And I can be charitable and have a life that I absolutely love. And how does that feel for you?
It's very freeing. It feels wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
it feels doable now.
That's exactly right. So you see what happens when we pull the weed. Would you ever imagine that your vacillation in retirement has to do with trauma from your 30s?
No, I didn't connect that. I didn't connect those dots.
No, that is where the power of the body's wisdom and the power of forgiveness come together to really be able to remove the weeds. And like Amy has done, you know, week after week, just done forgiveness in different areas of her life to be able to pull those weeds out and then be able to experience all that she loves. So you just did that. Thank you for volunteering and sharing that with us. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah. Very significant transformation. Yeah.
Yes, it is. I feel like I've gotten so many additional tools in my toolbox now
Yeah.
that I can use.
Well, I really appreciate you joining us. Definitely appreciate you joining us here today. So thank you. All right. Well, that is how we pull the weeds. We use the body's wisdom by pulling the weeds out from the roots and finding the cause of where our abundance blocks are. And it's a really, really wonderful experience and a wonderful process. And because I want to make sure that we finish up on time, I just want to answer any questions, and ask if anybody has any questions around what we covered here. Anybody? Oh. Claire did not have a question. She's sitting across the table from me. No questions. Okay. For those people that may be interested, oh, Austin, yeah, you're the best question answer or asker. Yes. You and Kaylee.
Yeah, I think Kaylee's a little bit better than me, but
Yeah.
I wanted to see if you could clarify on action steps, if that's possible. So like after you go through a process and then sorry, I've got my baby right here.
Yeah.
But being able to take action steps towards your vision. So like after going through an emotional process like that, emotional discovery process, and then being able to figure out what it is that you're like, okay, this is possibly what I'd like to do to move forward, and then taking those action steps. So
yeah, and thank you for asking that.
yeah.
Maybe what I would ask is, now that you feel more free, now that you feel clearer in your body, if I were to say, this is your reality, that you have made this decision of that you're, going to retire, and you've got the nest egg and you're visiting friends and family, from that vision being your reality, what might be one action step that you can take from where you are with what you have in order to serve the vision?
Well, actually, towards the end of the vision, I was getting a figure of some money in my head, but I was also feeling a timeline on the retirement where I could see myself retiring. I don't know when, but it felt like soon.
Clarity. You received.
I was getting more clarity. I don't have a definite answer on it yet, but I was definitely getting more clarity on it.
So would you say that process helped you to stop the vacillation and start to really get crystal clear about where you want to go? Yeah.
Right, because I think what I've been missing is more of a specific focus on the feelings, the physical feelings.
When you have a wall that's a wall of protection around your heart, of course you're not going to be clear, because the wall is thinking the wall is covering you up and thinking that you need to protect yourself based on your past trauma. You see?
Right.
Yeah.
It's that conflict of feeling free, but at the same time having a wall or you're feeling excited about something and then maybe get a message like, oh, that's not real,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, I
The
think
conflict.
those messages will probably start to diminish now because of the wall is
I
no
think
longer
so.
there. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
That's the power of forgiveness. Yeah. Good job. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thank you. We're going to wrap it up here. And as I mentioned, anybody that is interested in like continuing the journey, if you have interest in the Cracking the Rich Code book, just put interested in the comment section. And if you want to just stick around, for those people that are interested in sticking around, if you can, we will talk about how you can do some jumpstart coaching with us. So just for the rest of you, thank you very much. Thank you all for your energy, for your participation. I really appreciate it. And I'm really grateful for those of you that have already purchased the book and have gotten, I've gotten some really nice messages of late from people that have purchased the book and said that they've really enjoyed it. So thank you very much. And I hope you all have a wonderfully love-filled, abundant-filled rest of your week and rest of summer. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See.